In other news, the country's top officials are struggling to find the way to improve Israel's image, which has taken a battering recent years, particularly following the controversial Goldstone report. According to media professional Tom Gross, however, some of those very same officials are responsible for a series of poor public relations campaigns that have contributed to the sorry state of affairs. Gross was speaking to IBA's Steve Leibowitz.
Certainly Israel has contributed to this bad public image by not having a good enough Hasbara public relations strategy. The Israeli Foreign Office, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, is not doing the job it could do. The Israeli Hasbara institutions are fairly dysfunctional. They don't communicate with one another. There's the Hasbara department in the Prime Minister's office. There's the government press office. Inside the Foreign Ministry, the Foreign Minister has his own Hasbara team. The Deputy Foreign Minister has his own Hasbara team. The civil servants in the Foreign Ministry have their own Hasbara team. Different embassies have different initiatives. So part of the problem is lack of coordination, lack of message, because going to your second point about policy, the fact is that whereas many people may not agree with in full with the policies of the present government, led by Benjamin Netanyahu, has actually been more conciliatory, more publicly recognized the two-state solution, put a freeze up to a point on settlement building to a greater extent than the previous government led by Ehud Olmert, and yet Israel's image is taking a greater battering now than it took under the previous government, at least prior to the Gaza operation.
Sometimes Israel does things so well, so smoothly. If you look at our high-tech industry and how it's grown, if you even look at something like our rescue and hospital operation after the earthquake in Haiti, why is it that we do such a poor job on public information?
Well, Israelis excel at certain types of things, and you've named two of them, and they do not excel at explaining to a different audience in a different language and tone, to different cultures, the Israeli position. And unfortunately, there's also sometimes a trait of arrogance among some Israelis, so they haven't brought in real media experts. They brought in branding experts, advertising experts, PR experts, but no one I know who works in Hasbara has actually worked in the media, at least not the foreign media. So let's compare that to another country. In the United States, for example, Tony Snow, who was George Bush's spokesperson, used to work at CNN and at Fox News. In Britain, Alistair Campbell, who was closest to Tony Blair, used to work at the Daily Mirror, a popular daily newspaper. So Israel, the Israeli Hasbara establishment, should probably engage more with the media and probably hire more media experts who really have experience in the media and understand the tone, the language and the emotions of the media, because many of them think they understand the media because they read newspapers, and they don't understand how complicated the media is.